Tilapia cichlids surviving in rough condition. Hi everybody, welcome to another episode of Fish Keeping Jamaica. Welcome to my channel. Okay, so this is my in-ground pond in which I shared it with you a few weeks ago. It's underneath my palm tree in my yard, right? However, it is green, very green, right? I do have a in the in pond what I call it, water pump, right? Yeah, in which I filter my pan using this, which is washed periodically. Now today's video is focused on primarily how tough is the tilapia cichlid. Now from birth until adult, tilapia cichlid is considered one of the toughest fish within the wild. Also, its ability to stave off diseases is awesome. I'm gonna actually be cleaning this pond. I'm gonna be removing all the fish in it. You're gonna see all the gunk in it, and it's amazing how beautiful these fish looks. So I am halfway through the pond, taking out some of the water. Originally when I built this pond with a piping at the bottom to release the water. However, that piping got clogged with cement and I opted not to clear it. I just allowed it. But anyway, you'll hear more about this pond in subsequent video because there's an issue. The focus now is on the tilapia fingerlings. Well, they're not really 100% fingerlings as yet, but the tilapia that exist within this space. Now, as you can see, the water is green, right? In addition to the waste that the fish would produce, you also have green I call it algae, yeah, green water mess that exists within the space, right? Cause as a result of its the pond exposure to sunshine. In addition to that, you have feed that have not been eaten by the fish, because in tilapia they like when the feed is actually on the surface and they actually consume it. They will dig in the substrate and look for food, but this is when they are like very hungry and there's no other choice, right? And once the feed is in the water for about roughly 6 hours, 7 hours tops, it will actually start to pollute the water, right? After 5 minutes it starts to disintegrate and it starts to give problems. But after a couple of hours, yeah, that's where the real problem sits in. You can't really see the feed because it's now fully dissolved in the water, so therefore the only option is to practically remove the water. Now you will see some anomalies with regards to some of the fish growth. You will notice that some of them are very huge, right? Well, some of them are larger than the other. I wouldn't say huge because there's no large fish in here, just that some of them are actually outgrowing each other, right? So I am going to be doing some separation also, but the primary emphasis here is to share with you that, hey, tilapia fish, food fish, they are really hardy, guys. They can survive in really tough conditions, and it costs nothing much for you to actually keep it in the back of your yard. Now this is a bucket with some of the water that is in the pond, and as you can see, the bucket looks the water look really grimy, dirty, messy, right? Also in the bucket there are several tilapia, right? And these fish do really well in messy conditions, right? During the opening salvo for this shear, I shared with you that I am primarily looking at the hardiness of tilapia, both in the wild and on a fish farm, right? Keeping them as food fish, right? Now I had roughly probably about 2 times this within the space, right? Several things occur, and this is what I have right now, right? This is not surprising, right? One, you see this one right here? It looks big. Let me see if I can catch it. I caught it. It took a little bit of convincing. Now, all these fish came from the same batch, right? Notice the size. You have a small one and you have a large one, right? What have been happening in this pond is the whole idea of cannibalization, meaning that the larger one are actually consuming the smaller ones. So what I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be doing a little separation here, where I'm going to be placing the smaller ones in a different space and the larger ones in a different space. And then now I'll be moving around my entire batches in which I have. At the same time, I I I I am sharing other things with you um, as they do come up. So although we're talking about the hardiness of the tilapia, uh, let's look at the coloration. Now you always hear me share that you have three main types of tilapia cichlids within the space, right? Okay, within the space of Jamaica, that is, right? But this doesn't count as for what you call the crossbreed. This does account for the crossbreed. For example, um, this tilapia. Let me see if I can catch it. It's so fast, guys. Let's look at this tilapia in particular. Right? We say that we have red Nile tilapia in Jamaica, and the red Nile is the most preferred. However, this fish right here, guys, it's neither fully red nor fully white. If you should see this in a normal pond, right, with a bunch of goldfish, probably you might think it's a goldfish. I might even think it's a koi. It's a tilapia, guys. Now there's a lot of crossbreeding occurring within the Jamaican space as it relates to tilapia food fish. A lot of the food fish in which exists right now as tilapia, they are actually, I call it now, diluting. That's in on the farms. They're actually diluting the colors, not intentionally, but as a result of crossbreeding. So instead of having the really red tilapia, this one look a little white, don't it? This one look like a convict if you look at it good. See with the red spot, red blotches at the top, right? This also have a little red black blotch, should I say? Sorry about that. At the top, right? This is as a result of crossbreeding. And so tilapia actually crossbreed between Rocky Mountain White, Mozambique cichlid, and Red Nile, and they give you diverse colors. Some of them so-called red tilapia are looking really white, or really black, or really black and white, or they look as if the one in which I just showed you a while ago, which looks like a goldfish, right? So it's a lot going on here, and it's not only in Jamaica that this is actually taking place, guys. There are research that are being conducted with regards to how to make tilapia a little bit more hardier. Yes, I show you the dirty water, I show you where they are coming from. Yeah, scientists are actually researching how to make these fish a little bit more hardier in harsh conditions, dirty condition, but at the same time they survive. Now for you to actually consume these fish, I would recommend let's say that these were like 8-inch or roughly like 9-inch, ready for the dining table, right? For me to actually consume them, I would have to place them in a space where it is fully aerated, it's being flushed on a regular basis, and there is no residue of green water, and they would probably stay there for a week before I actually catch them with the main intention of preparing them as food fish. where did I learn all this? Where did I read all this? Where did I research all this? This was shared to me by a veteran fish keeper, Mr. Danny Bunting, as far as his procedure in how to actually reduce the muddy taste of tilapia. Consumers actually purchase fish from him, and he's one of the largest, if not the largest, tilapia breeder, keeper, trader in Jamaica, and he has actually shared a lot as far as tilapia breeding. You can watch that share. I'm going to place it at the end of this video, so you can just click on the link and you can actually share some, well, you can actually watch and learn some of the ideas that was shared by Mr. Danny Bunting himself a few months, well, roughly, it's nearly a year. Alright, so I'm going to be continuing to take out the larger ones out of this space, and I'm going to be placing the smaller one in a different space, the larger one in a different space, and we shall see what we shall see. They look a little bit, don't guys? Yeah, this is 12 tilapia, 1 dozen, right? So when I tell you that this is roughly about 5 dozen, believe me, it is 5 dozen, right? They look a little bit when you're looking at them like this, but yeah, when they grow up, yeah, they look really big. So what am I going to be doing with these? I'm going to be placing them in a fingerling spawn around the back, 250-gallon tote, and they should do okay. So this is my pond with my larger tilapia. These are really fingerlings, right? They like measure your side of your finger. These are fingerlings, but they are somewhat smaller, and for a while the ones that I placed in it, because I am actually placing them in during a time in which I would normally feed, right? So they will chase each other and pick at each other for a while until they become familiar with the space. So in this space I am trying to have at least 10 dozen fingerlings in this space, so as to actually build up my stock capacity, should I say, build up the amount of wording language wrong, guys. To build up the amount of fingerlings I have in this space, so that I can be able to do my aquaponics. So I changed my mind. I thought that the larger one would do better for aquaponics, but after looking at everything that is in place, I think that I will just use a larger one as broodstock, and these as my stock that will grow to replace the broodstock, to be consumed and to be a part of my aquaponics setup, right? So they should be okay. I'm going to be feeding them in a short bit. As I said, that they are actually becoming familiar with the space. The ones that are at the top looking, those are the ones that are just placed in there. And I have some like 2.5 inch, 3 inch tilapia in this space, and they should do well. Alright. I was planning to actually place the smaller tilapia from that same space in which I just showed you a while ago in this space, but upon looking I realized that this would be a foolhardy decision, because some of these tilapia are very tiny, while some of them are larger than the other. Some of them are like the ones that I've just shown you a while ago. Put these fish with those in the last space that I showed you a while ago would be foolhardy, because these fish would end up becoming predators, and the ones in the space would become prey, as they would actually consume the very tiny ones in that space. I am going to have to sort out that pond at a different time, but for now this is it. I am actually refilling the garden pond to actually place them back in. Whenever I am about to consume some tilapia, I normally prepare from like a week before. Oh guys, these are some of the mess that came out of the pond, right? So you have algae, you have fish mess, you also have some amount of feed, and some other little dirt that might actually fall in the pond. I do have a filtration system, but you know, no filtration system is 100 proof, regardless of what you might say. Right, coming back to this, so I am actually filling this space so as to replace the fish back in it, so they can probably stay in there for around the next 3 weeks, and then they will be placed within the pond with the fingerlings. Then now I will sort out the large one and remove some of them and place them here. So it's a cycle as far as fish keeping is concerned, tilapia food fish that is. As you know, you really want these fish to consume. For me it's academic, and you know, sharing with you, consuming, you know, and sometimes I might actually sell to persons who wishing to purchase. Thank you very much for stopping by, guys. I know that this video was a little bit long, but I know that somewhere, somehow, you have actually gained some more insight in tilapia fish keeping. That's it for now. Bye bye, guys. Catch you next time. Peace out.